Thakur is a professional with around 26 years of experience in capital markets. He has been instrumental in his current role at India's largest stock exchange, BSE, leading the SME and Startup initiative. Over his tenure, he has played a critical role in setting up the depository by the regional stock exchange, developing derivatives and equity market. He has also played a vital role in setting up SME and Startup platform. In addition to this, he is an executive committee of Indian Merchant Chamber, member of advisory committee of GLA University, among other membership portfolios. He has been a jury member at India SME Forum and Aspire India. The list goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Thakur?
Very good afternoon to all of you. I am extremely thankful to DNB because I was late in responding them to be the panelist. But I responded late, but still they were kind enough to allocate 10 minutes to me to address you people. Frankly speaking, I am feeling myself 3 years younger today because my total experience in the capital market is almost more than 29 years. But Madam has already said that it's 26 years, so I am feeling 3 years younger. But well, let me ask you all, how many of you have ever invested in the capital market? आप लोग में से कितने लोगों ने कैपिटल मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट किया है? Very good. And how many of you have made money? So good. So today the Sensex is all-time high. It's almost 62,800. Let me tell you, we as BSE is in existence for last 147 years. Out of 147 years till 31st March 2020, we have added almost 30 million, 3 crore investors with the stock exchange. In last 2.5 years, we have added 8.5 crore investors in the stock exchange. And if this way, if the number goes, then I think more than farmers, we will have investors in the capital market. So the capital market is going up. We are no longer dependent on, FIIs, the mutual funds, the domestic institutions, and the Indian retail investors are balancing the capital market. But we need to be careful also in the capital market. And that's why we keep on doing a lot of investors awareness program. In the year 2010, I have been given the responsibility to start the SME platform in India, the first ever SME platform. So I was taking the feedback, and let me tell you, all the feedbacks were negative. CNBC has called for an interview, and all stalwarts were sitting there, and all of them have written off this SME platform. So it was a very depressed atmosphere. People were very much pessimistic about this SME stock exchange. And we also have a precedence whereby in 1991-92, OTCI was launched, and which has failed miserably. So normally people ask you, whenever you are in panel or something, people always ask you the toughest question. And they always ask you that when OTCI has failed, how can SME succeed? So our job is to create a lot of awareness program across the country. And we used to sponsor the events also. But in India, financial literacy is very less, and especially equity awareness is very less. So my number in the panel discussion always used to be the last. And by the time my turn comes, the organizers comes to me and tell me in my ear that, sir, we are running short of time. You please finish in 3-4 minutes. So, but nothing succeeds like success. After 10.5 years of the journey, at least I have made the SME stock exchange such a success that DNB is accommodating me even after I am coming to the last and giving me 10 and 15 minutes to address you all. So, in 10.5 years journey, I think I have traveled across the country, met almost more than 37,000 SME promoters, tried to convince them about equity funding. And after meeting these promoters, their chartered accountant, company secretary, we have been able to convince almost 460 SMEs to get listed on the SME platform. Out of these 460, 407 is already listed. They have raised almost 4,800 crores from the capital market, but they have created a market capitalization of 63,500 crores. And out of these 407 companies, 155 companies have become big, and they have migrated to the main board of the stock exchange. So the most difficult for me, and there are enough food of thoughts from morning. They are fintech companies, they are NBFC, they are a stock exchange. All those things are there. But I think, we all are trying hard, but the SME promoters also need to move forward. Okay, they also know. Many of the times I have found that SME promoters are also not aware how to get funds from the fintech, NBFC or the banks or from anywhere. That is the biggest problem. And many of the times they keep on thinking. They need to understand that in this market, there has been a theory, and this theory is not something new that I am going to tell you. This has been written around 500-600 years back. That is survival of the fittest. If you are fit, you can survive, otherwise no one will make you survive. So we need to also understand how to use all the resources that are available with us for our benefit and take the country to the next level. I always tell the promoters that it's not wise to remain a macro company or a small or medium forever. You need to migrate, or you need to transit from macro to a small to medium to large. And as an institution, as a stakeholder of this ecosystem, we are working hard to ensure that there should be a smooth development and sustainable development in the small and medium ecosystem. So that's the job, and that's why 10.5 years back, BSE became the first institution to launch the first ever SME platform in India. We have kept the guidelines as simple as we can. What we are saying, that as long as your post-issue face value capital is below 25 crores, post-issue face value capital is below 25 crores, net tangible asset is minimum 1.5 crores, you are in existence for minimum period of 3 years, and in any one of the past 3 years, if you have got operating profit, you are eligible to get listed onto the SME platform of the stock exchange. So only 4 eligibility criteria. You need to be in existence. When I am saying you need to be in existence for 3 years, it means that in any form, whether you are a proprietorship firm, whether you are a partnership firm or a private limited or LLP or a public limited company, in any form, if you are in existence for a minimum period of 3 years with any 1 year of operating profit in last 3 years and net tangible asset of 1.5 crore with positive net worth, you are eligible to get listed on the SME platform of the stock exchange. Not only that, we have also ensured that the merchant banker does the whole process at minimal cost. Even Asian Development Bank in its report has written that BSE SME platform is the most cost-effective platform in the world. So we have created this ecosystem in such a way that merchant banker do proper hand-holding, he charges minimal to the promoters and ensure that his company should get listed onto the SME platform. Not only that, we have also put a lot of responsibility on the merchant bankers. Once your issue opens, then he has to ensure that the issue sells through. And that's what we call 100% underwriting. All these public issues that will come in the market are 100% underwritten. It means that once the issue opens, whether it gets subscribed 40%, 50%, 60%, rest of the issues, the merchant bankers have to ensure that it should get fully subscribed and get listed onto the SME platform of the stock exchange. Not only that, we have also created the same infrastructure. Not a single merchant banker or any other intermediary have to invest in the infrastructure. On the same platform where the large companies are being traded, at the same place, these SME companies are also being traded. Say, for example, Reliance, SBI, Tisco are traded. So if your company is XYZ, then those companies will also be traded on the SME platform of the stock exchange. So this way, we have kept the criteria very simple. We have created the eligibility criteria also very simple. We have also provided trading platform. Means this, your company once gets listed, then it will get traded onto the SME platform of the stock exchange. Not only that, we have also provided the guidelines whereby the companies can migrate from the SME board to the main board of the stock exchange in a very smooth way. The transition should be as simple as it can be, and there should be minimal cost involved. You know, we don't want that the macro industry remain macro, or small industry remain small, or medium industry remain small. We are giving them the path to migrate from the small board of the stock exchange to the main board of the stock exchange. So this way, all the criteria are there. Now the question arises, and when I ask the promoters, you know, promoters many times ask us that, sir, what are the benefits of listing? You know, the banks are giving me funds. Everything is happening. Let me tell you, I have met almost, as I have said, that more than 37,000 promoters, and I have seen everybody's balance sheet. Now, in 95% cases, what I found that the turnover ranges between 5 crores to 600 crores, and profit ranges between 5 lakh rupees to 3 crores rupees, in maximum of the cases. I asked the promoters what is the reason, and they give many reasons. But one of the reasons that I found was that all the balance sheets are over leveraged. So many times I feel that whether it's a balance sheet or imbalance sheet, and many times it doesn't look balance sheet. You will not find the balance sheet very healthy, and therefore most of the financiers, they hesitate giving money to this company. So we need to ensure that our balance sheet remain healthy, and therefore we need to use the finances in the best possible manner into the company. So one, you are already using debt funding. Now there is another route that we have made available. It's called equity funding. Now the difference between debt funding and equity funding is that equity funding does need to be served. Okay, in what way you can service the equity funding? By maximum by giving dividend. Let me tell you, no one invests in the capital market to take the dividend. Everybody invests in the capital market for capital appreciation. 50 रुपए के शेयर में आपने 10% dividend दिया, it doesn't makes any sense. So everybody invests into the capital market. That today I am investing at 50 rupees, it will become 70 rupees, 80 rupees, like that. So there is no cash outflow from your balance sheet, and therefore what happens, the debt equity ratio becomes good and the balance sheet becomes healthy. So first benefit is that through equity dilution, you will raise the funds from the capital market for your business expansion, for working capital requirements, for reducing the debt, everything, except for personal purpose. Don't buy luxurious cars. Use the funds for your company. Don't divert the funds. So that is the one benefit. Second benefit, of course, I have talked about the balance sheet getting healthy. The third benefit is the visibility. The stock exchange listing gives the maximum visibility to the promoters. No, without spending any money on your branding and all those things. You get your company listed, your price starts moving up, everybody starts knowing about your company. That's the easiest way. When for 50 to 70 rupees, 70 to 100 rupees, everybody starts looking to your company, what this is doing, and they will do the research on their own. You don't have to invest a single penny for the research. So the third thing is visibility. Fourth, I have already talked around with visibility. You are getting also branding. Fifth, transparency. Okay, once you get listed and you are doing some compliances, it brings transparency into the company. Everybody starts feeling that now the company is compliant. Okay, they start trusting you. And that's how the credibility of the company, the promoters increases manifold. आप बोलते रहिए, it's like, आप बहुत अच्छे हैं, but जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा? So when you get listed and you are doing all these compliances, तब मोर को सब देख रहा है नाचते हुए. So this is another benefit that you get once your company gets listed onto the stock exchange. So that is the fifth benefit. Sixth, you can retain best of the employees. You remember Infosys Wipro days. They don't have the collaterals to get the loans. So what was their collateral? Their collateral were their employees. How they have retained the employees? By giving them ESOPs. Now ESOPs of unlisted companies is of no use. It's just a raddi paper. Okay, but if you are giving the ESOPs of a listed company, it has got the value. And your employees, they will perform better. So ultimately the world is materialistic. A moralistic world जो है ना वो आप retirement साधु संत वो अलग चीज़ है. But the world is materialistic. How you can involve them? By showing them money. Okay, so you can retain best of your employees by giving them the ESOP and let them see that their wealth is appreciating. So that is sixth benefit. Seventh, you have started issuing your own currency. There are only two parties who issue the currency in the market. One is Central Bank of India, that is Reserve Bank of India. If I give you 2,000 rupees note, why you will accept it? Because RBI governor writes on this on rupee, on that 2,000 rupee note, both in English and Hindi. In English he writes, I promise to pay the bearer 2,000. In Hindi he writes, मैं धारक को 2,000 रुपया अदा करने का वादा करता हूँ. Now rupee is just like the equity of government of India. If the economy appreciates, rupee appreciates. If the economy depreciates, rupee depreciates. There is another person who issues the currency. And let me tell you, there is a drawback of rupee. The value of 2,000 rupees, what is today, it will not remain the same after 5 years because of the inflation. Now there is another person who is issuing the currency, and that is the promoter of the company. He is issuing the shares at 50 rupees, 70 rupees, 80 rupees, 100 rupees, whatever is the value. And those currencies are being traded into the capital market. But these promoters are more stronger than the RBI governor because they never promises the bearer the value at they are issuing the shares. And at the same time, if the company performs well, they will beat the inflation. Okay, the investors as well as the promoters will be rewarded. But if the company doesn't perform, if the price of the share depreciates, nobody goes to the promoter's office and do tandav. Okay, because equity by definition gives the shareholder an ownership to the extent he holds the shares. So that is a risk investment. And I always say that for the promoters, a stock market is the safest place, for investors is the riskiest place. And that's why they do a lot of scrutiny of the company to invest into the capital market. So the stock market is a place where you आप कागज बेच के पैसे लेते हो. So that's how you are, making your currency, you are issuing your currency, and you are getting your money. Still the promoters ask me, 10 मिनट हो गया क्या? Because I am not seeing it, still 10 minutes is not over. So, they write very well. Huh? Please conclude, but prior to that, they have also written, sir. So, I am feeling happy. So, I lost the link. So, yes, so I was saying that, still the promoters ask me that, sir, equity float करने से risk क्या है? And I always tell them that yes, you have to increase your compliances little bit, but in the SME platform, we have reduced the compliances because from day one we were knowing that the SME promoters will get worried about the compliances. So we have reduced the compliances in comparison with the main board of the stock exchange. Here there is a quarterly, instead of quarterly, there is a half-yearly compliance. And half-yearly also, the unaudited balance sheet the promoters have to file, and yearly audited balance sheet. Once they migrate to the main board of the stock exchange, then they have to do the quarterly auditing, etc. And let me tell you, all the promoters who have met me prior to listing, I have to keep on convincing, and I remember Balmiki's story, whereby Narad was sent to him that he can only write Ramayana. So these people have gone to convince him to leave all this because he was a robber. So went there to convince him कि भाई इसके बाद आप ये सब काम मत करो. So he said, no, why should not I do? So they told him that, okay, you go and ask your family whether they are being part of this crime. So he went there and they said that, no, we are not a part of the crime. So he finally came and मेरा आँख खुल गया और अब मैं ये नहीं करूँगा. So what should I do? So Narad said, you say Ram, Ram, Ram. So Narad, the Balmiki said that, भाई वो राम राम कहना तो मुझे नहीं आता है. So क्या कहना आता है आपको? So he said that कि हमको मरा मरा कहने आता है. So he said that, okay, you keep on saying मरा मरा, and finally मरा मरा कहते कहते वो राम कहने लगा. So for me, I kept on meeting the promoters. I keep on telling, start saying Ram Ram, get yourself listed. So some promoters learn in 2 years from mara mara to Ram, some 6 months, some 3 months, some 2 months, and finally they get listed onto the stock exchange. And till the time of listing, they always say, sir, it's your company, you have to take care of me. Post-listing, nobody calls. So it's like, mooks. They get the mooks, they understand the beauty of the stock exchange, and till the time of listing, they are very much worried about the compliances. Post-listing, out of these 155 companies, let me tell you, nobody came to me and asked me, sir, whether I should migrate onto the main board or not. They all migrated on their own. So my request to all of you who are the, I think some of you have won the awards also. If you have not got yourself listed, please come get yourself listed on our stock exchange on this SME platform. We will do proper hand holding. We will give you red carpet welcome as long as you are under the laws of the lands and under the rules, bylaws and regulation of the stock exchange, and we will ensure that there should be sustainable development and progress in your company. With these words, thanks a lot to all of you.
So please stay back for a few minutes. Thank you for such an insightful session. Survival of the fittest is my takeaway from this one. I'm going to request Mr. Vipul Oberoi, Director of Marketing, CSR and Learning Solutions at Dun & Bradstreet, India, to kindly come on stage and felicitate our guest. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you, gentlemen. I would love to take this opportunity to once again thank our event partners, presenting partner Yes Bank, co-partner Wilhelm Textiles, telecom partner